Thanks, everybody, for coming. Hope everybody's doing well. It's always fun to talk about football. I'm sure the majority of the crowd here is excited that it is finally football season. I know that I am. One of our coaches always jokes about it being football Christmas, and it does feel like Christmas Day when we finally get the players all back in the same place. But then also that I get a chance that we get to do football and get to work with these guys every single day. So, thinking about the future and then really how the last 6-7 months have gone, it's been nothing but energy and excitement around here. And the players really have been the forefront of that excitement and energy. I'd love to take credit for it, but they're the ones that have really bought in. They bought into what our vision of the program is. They bought into how we can take this place to places that it's never been before. We can take this program to maybe the best stretch of seasons in the history of the program that dates way back before the 1900s. And it wouldn't be without their passion, their excitement, their drive that all this wouldn't happen. So, the expectations within our building are extremely high. And as they should be. If the saying that we always talk about as a coaching staff is check the tape. So when we're watching practice film, when we're watching game film, something goes well, something goes bad. We always go back to the tape, and we've got tape now. We've got tape that proves to not only the people within Des Moines, but also the state of Iowa and the country that Drake football is special. It's a competitive group. It's a group that has high aspirations, that plays at a high level. And then the nice thing about it for us as coaches is that they're guys that we love being around every single day. And so I'm excited about the season. We're well on our way. You always hear coaches say, "Oh, we still got a ways to go." Yeah, we've got some time to hone in and tighten some things up. But if I were to go out there today and play for real, I'd be excited about it. I'd be excited about where we're at as a team. And I'm even more passionate about where we're going. I mean, we still got another couple weeks of preparation before our first game, and man, it's going to be a fun time, especially here at Drake Stadium, where we love having our fans out, our students out, and the community of Des Moines out. So, it's a great group of guys. You'll hear from some of them, and you'll get a chance to talk to some of them. Our captains are top notch. They're all guys that definitely produce on the field, but more importantly, they really care for their teammates no matter what, how old they are, what kind of experience they have. But Drew Lauer is kind of the heart and soul and the fire of the offensive side. He really does put a smile on your face every time you see him. But man, he's back to his old self. He had an injury a few years ago, and he's showing some flashes of that same guy that took a kickoff return to the house against South Dakota State. And then, on that side of the ball too, Steve Dorn is another guy that is electrifying. He's a big, strong, physical wide receiver that, man, I kind of wish he could play some defense too, because he's that type of competitor and athlete. And then, on the defensive side, you look in the middle of our defense and you've got strength, you got power, you got intimidation. Zach Rujewitz, that's the guy I want next to me if I'm in an alley and we need to fight off some people. And Gavin Deneen, I'd love him on the other side. I mean, those two guys are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, and I'm super excited that they're a part of our group as well. And I mean, and across the board too. We have some holes. We graduated some guys, but at the end of the day, we've got talent, we've got depth, we've got a lot of guys that are driven. They're excited. They're pushing towards a common goal, and I love being here. I love seeing it every day. So it's going to be a great year. We're excited about it, and I can't wait for it to get real for sure. So, but that's it. Any questions?
You guys start with a little bit of a gauntlet in your non-conference, North Dakota and South Dakota State. How much do you look forward to those games, and what can you learn about this team early on with those?
I love playing tough teams early, and luckily for us, we play 3 non-conference games, and we try to stay regional because we go so cross country, coast to coast, and luckily for us, when you talk about the FCS level, we are in the middle of the toughest conference at that spot. So anytime we've got a chance to play Missouri Valley teams, we're excited about it because it's going to show us where we're at that point. And, at the end of the day, if we want to win a conference title and get to the playoffs, those are the types of teams that we've got to feel good at playing. So, going up to North Dakota is going to be a heck of a challenge. I remember the last time we went up there was 2015. There's a great football team with talent, well coached, and our guys are excited to go there. Truman State coming here. I mean, even though that's a Division II team, they've been a very competitive team in their conference. So that's going to be a fun opener for us here at home. And then week 3 up to South Dakota State, who's been a semifinal team now 4 years in a row. So to play those teams, to play Valley teams, that's the kind of stuff that our guys are really, really looking forward to.
I think we have a pretty good idea of what your type of defense looks like, but offensively, how much could that side of the ball change now with you in charge?
Oh, it's drastically different. It's more, if you think of Midwest, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see multiple big personnel people out there. So, you're going to see multiple tight ends. You're going to see fullbacks. They're not dead. They are alive, and they live in Drake Stadium. So, we'll use some fullbacks. We'll use some unbalanced sets. We'll be under center at times. We'll be in the gun at times. We'll be empty at times. So we're going to be multiple, but we're going to stick to who we are and where we're at. The roots of the Midwest and being able to run the football, to control the line of scrimmage. If you think of our best players, on our team, they're up front guys. Across the board, you think about our offensive line. You've got Isaiah Kent-Schneider at center, and he's a fifth-year senior. And then you've got guys that are going into their fourth year, flanked across the line next to them on either side. So we're going to win the games. We're going to be competitive. We're going to dominate teams physically in the fourth quarter by running the football first. And then hopefully as we get that thing established, we'll open up some lanes in the passing game.
I know it was last year, but how did that Iowa State game to end the year maybe ignite some guys going into the offseason and really getting ready for this upcoming year?
It was huge. That was the biggest change that we needed to make as a team, was our attitude. And then that attitude of we can play with anybody. And when you step on the field against a team that was 24th in the country, in the Big 12, and then to be able to play with those guys, to control the line of scrimmage like we did, to be able to tackle and to be able to run and catch like we did, that did nothing but enhance our confidence. So as a coaching staff now, we've just been fanning the flame, because right now it's burning hot. Those guys, they know now that we can go into any game against any opponent and we can get the job done. So that game, it has done a ton for our psyche and our attitude and our energy for sure.
What's it going to take for you guys to make the playoffs this year?
It's going to take one game at a time. It really will, and it's going to take focusing on us, and focusing on the how. That's the beautiful thing about our team, about Drake University in general. I believe it's like this anyway. But a lot of people, when they're in a career or they're doing something, they're always searching for what's their why. Why am I doing this? What's the passion? What's the drive behind it? Our guys already know. They know why they're doing it. They love the game. They know why they picked Drake, because they wanted a great school. So the why is handled. Like that now, we know what that is, but it's about the how for us. So how are we practicing every day? How are we competing with one another? How are we loving one another? How are we treating our bodies the way they need to be treated? Are we getting enough to eat, sleep, all that kind of stuff? So the how becomes the focus, and then if we focus on us, it's going to be huge. And we talk about 3 different things, formula for winning on the team. Number 1's takeaways. Everybody knows that. So if we can take the ball away more than we give it away, that's a big thing. Explosive plays is another big indicator. So if we can get more runs of 12 yards, runs of 16 or more, or passes of 16 or more yards, we're going to win the game based off of that. And again, how we're structured, we've got to win the game in the fourth quarter. So when the game is on the line, we've got to compete, we've got to execute, we've got to finish at the end of the game. So focus on us and take care of those 3 things.
Coach, I know attendance isn't always where Drake would hope it would be for football games. Is there anything happening this year differently in that regard to try to draw more fans? And is it hard for you guys working as hard as you do and maybe not seeing as many fans as you'd like?
Yeah, we would love to have more fans. And that's hopefully, some of the successes we've had in the past have opened the eyes to some of the people in the community. So it's okay to be a Cyclone and a Hawkeye and a Bulldog. You know, I mean, you can do that. You can be one of or the other. You can't be both of those, obviously, but you know, you can root for us. And you know, the neat thing about this place is how accessible we all are. So, you know, if it's a person that wants to get to know our program and to get intimate with our program, it's very easy to come to a game, tailgate in the back lot, come in and watch some of the game, go back, tailgate some more, come back, go on the field, shake hands with the teams, shake hands with the coaches. So I just think that this place is pretty special because of how accessible we all are. I mean, we're not seeing, I mean, we're here with everybody. And so, you know, hopefully the people of Des Moines know that they can come and watch an incredible product, but also it's on the field and off the field. They're guys that you like to root for. You know, when you get to know those players, you know, whether you like football or not, you like that guy that's out there running the ball, or you like that guy that's blocking for him. So we're hoping to gain some steam and some momentum to involve the community a little bit more. We're also doing some things as far as youth football as well. You know, the first game, you know, we're working on having a free youth clinic before the game. So, you know, trying to promote our sport, number one, but then number two, you know, young people like to be involved and see players up close. And so, you know, maybe if we can get a couple fans, you know, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, and on, you know, that might be a possibility as well. You know, family friendly. That's what we are. You know, it's a place where you can feel comfortable and still see what you want to see. So, you know, involving the community as much as we can, getting out with the youth. You know, I'm actually working with a couple of our student athletes who are in the broadcast journalism school. Where, you know, we're going to do a podcast every Wednesday night at Jethro's. And so, you know, come on out, hang out with us. We'll get you on there, and we'll have a good time. And you know, maybe we'll run up and down Greek Street and grab some students while we're at it to come to Jethro's and maybe even come to a game. So
you touched on how coast to coast the schedule is. What have you learned in your time here about how difficult that may or may not be as the season progresses?
Yeah, I am a firm believer the key is that travel day to have as little planned as possible other than getting on the plane and getting off the plane. So, you know, what we try to do is we try to get as much as we can done on Friday before we even leave. So once we're departing, so whether we're jumping on a plane and going to San Diego or whether jumping on a bus and going to Indianapolis, you know, our guys now know that the work is done. All I have to do is relax, maybe do some schoolwork, but take a nap, whatever it is. But, you know, we're not going to try to pack that day where we have to go see the stadium or we have to do this or that. You know, let's get on the bus, let's get there, let's get to the hotel, let's relax, and you know, let's be ready for Saturday. So when we've done that, and luckily, you know, with the help of the administration and the support that they've had, you know, getting us to places, you know, it's been a good thing when we've taken that philosophy.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you as a head coach now?
Oh, man, I tell you what, it's the biggest adjustment. You know, it's about 70% the same. You know, so it's still coaching football. I'm still working with the defense. You know, so I'm still working with the secondary, the safeties. But you know, the 30% of doing things like this, you know, going out into the community. You know, this summer I've gotten the opportunity to talk to a few groups and try to get them pumped up about coming out to a game. That stuff has been different but enjoyable. I have really pleasantly surprised. You know, you got all these things you got to do. You got to go over here. You got to go over there. But the people that I've met, you know, it's typical of Iowa. You know, I mean, when I'm getting out in Des Moines, they're people that I love to see every day. They're people that are fun to be around, just like our team. So, you know, I would say it's, you know, being around and out and about a little bit more is probably the biggest difference, but it's still coaching football. You know, the one funny thing about the difference, though, is so I'm going into year 21 of coaching, and this will be year 1 on the field. So I've coached 20 years in the press box. So I'm going to be on the field. So maybe this could be probably good video footage, seeing me running all over the place, not knowing where my boundaries are really. See, when you're in a press box, you've got windows and doors and walls, and you can't go anywhere. Now on the field, yeah, there are boundaries, but not necessarily known quite yet to me. So that might be entertaining footage those first couple of games as I figure out how to navigate the sidelines.
Are you going to be one of those coaches that has a guy that pulls you back by the belt?
I'm going to need one at least for a couple of the first 2 games until I figure it out. So luckily our strength coach Ryan Martin and I, we work together very closely already as far as planning, programming, training, nutrition, rest recovery, all that stuff. But yeah, he's going to probably have to be glued to my hip these first couple of goes just to make sure that I'm not running out there where I shouldn't be.
Coach, with just a handful of quarterbacks vying for that starting spot, what does one of those players have to do to separate themselves?
Consistency. So that, looking at the spring and then really these first 4 days, we practiced 4 days. 2 of them have been in helmets and shoulder pads. And, in the spring, the quarterbacks were live the whole time, so we had a little bit better evaluation. I put them in red up until this point. When we have our first scrimmage, we're going to make them live again. But we just need to see some consistency. Because all of them, so I think about the 3 in the spring, and then I also think about a couple of the new guys that have come along, particularly one in mine. They've shown signs of, like, we can win with this guy. Like, he can do it. He can make the throws. He can navigate the offense. He can protect the football. But it's just not every day. Like, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a guy that can consistently – again, we don't need him to win the game. We just need to make sure that he doesn't lose it for us. So, again, the defensive guy talking now, but a punt is okay. Taking a sack, getting down, throwing a ball away, life will move on. So it's just a matter of our quarterback's doing a good job of that, but then staying consistent when, man, there's an opportunity there to be able to take it.
Are you nervous at all for when that 4th and short comes up inside the 5-yard line and you got to make a call one way or the other with the game on the line?
Not at all. I mean, I believe in our players, and I believe in the talent and the work that they put in up to this point. So, man, 4th and 1, we're going. Yeah, let's get behind those big boys and let's go. So I'm excited about that group. Man, it's going to be good. We got some great backs too. They're going to be fun to watch.